Welcome to SportsBeat KC, the Kansas City Star's daily sports podcast. It's Thursday, December 24th, and I'm Blair Kirchhoff. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Shows about the year in review not only serve to recall newsworthy or entertaining moments, they also provide a day off during the holiday season. So it is with this episode that was recorded earlier this week. It's the best of SportsBeat KC 2020. What a year to remember, and in some cases forget. Turns out we got in most sports after the COVID-19 pandemic shut down the sports world in March, after a delay for several events like the Masters and a reduced schedule for others like the NBA, the NHL, and Major League Baseball. But before the world got sick, a Super Bowl was contested that brought much joy to Kansas City. Let's kick off our 2020 look back with a show we taped the morning after the Chiefs defeated the San Francisco 49ers in Super Bowl 54. You'll hear Vahe Gregorian, Sam Mellinger, Herbie Teope, and Sam McDowell. We were coming at you from the dining room table at our rented home in Miami. It's a few minutes after the Super Bowl.
It feels like it.
It doesn't feel that way.
We have been awake for every one of them.
Hey, so you might have heard Chiefs won the Super Bowl last night, defeating the San Francisco 49ers 31-20, and we are going to discuss this Super Bowl victory and what it means with Vahe Gregorian, Sam McDowell, Herbie Teope, and Sam Mellinger, all here, all awake mostly. And guys, the first thing I thought of as it was becoming apparent that the Chiefs were going to win last night was, well, there goes some story angles for the future. How many? I've been doing this for 5 years. Sam, you've been covering them longer than anybody. Part of the narrative of the Chiefs for 5 decades, has been misfortune, just bad luck, bad teams, 50 years worth of a Super Bowl drought. No longer a storyline for these Kansas City Chiefs.
It's always there. It always has been.
Just our friend. It's been our friend.
Our uncle got his life together last night, and now we got to invite him over again and all that stuff.
He'll be on his best behavior now.
There is I guess this always happens if a team goes that long without winning. We probably said some of the similar things in 2015. But it's just like the difference of old Chiefs, where it was just something just really creative is how they're going to break your heart. To new Chiefs, down 24 and then win by, 21 or whatever?
Right.
In the division round,
20,
down,
right. 20.
down 10,
20.
won by 11, down 10 in the Super Bowl, won by 11 in the Super Bowl. And it's not that surprising. Down 10 with 9 minutes left, you're like, I still got the quarterback. If they can keep him clean a little bit, and he'll figure it out.
Good.
Go ahead.
Okay, good. Sorry. Quick to your point. Had the Chiefs lost any of the last 3 games, the way that their opponents did, had they had these leads,
yeah,
a 24-0 lead,
100%.
I think we would have seen the reappearance of some form of one of the headlines you had over your story when they lost to the Titans.
Yeah.
Which, tell me that one again.
The Chiefs lost to the Titans because they're the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think that was in play.
and not just that, but look, I always have this in mind that we, not just us, but I think fans and other media, oversimplification is just a thing that happens, right? So it's not just the quarterback. There's a lot of other stuff that happen as well. But I swear to God, it feels like if they had a normal quarterback, they would have lost maybe all 3 of these games.
For a lot of reasons, right? I mean, including the very thing you said a minute ago, which was it's 8:53 left, the ball's getting kicked back to them. Your anxiety level's a little different if you think this is a guy who might get you a touchdown in a minute or two. I mean, we still were kind of thinking that drive was unfurling a little slowly, but you just do things differently because you have that, and then of course you also have that capability.
Well, and a drive that was unfurling slowly, and they still scored in 240,
right?
Because he throws this ridiculous back foot, 55 yards in the air, throw down to Tyreek Hill. I mean, it's just
on 3rd and 15.
Yeah, he just unlocks I'm not a video game guy, but he just like unlocks like stages that other teams aren't worthy of having.
Well, let me take this moment to invite you to send your questions and comments, and we'll get to as many of them as we can. And to thank our sponsor, Big O Tires, for not only for today's sponsorship, but they've been with us all season. It's been terrific working with Big O Tires on this. But I'll play a little bit of a contrarian here. Those previous comebacks in the AFC playoffs happened before halftime.
Right.
Chiefs were like showing off last night. Oh, down 10, 8 minutes to go. Yeah, sure. I wasn't there. I was rationalizing the defeat, with 8 minutes to go. I know you were writing it. I was writing stuff, Herbie, that...
The magic of Patrick Mahomes ran out. That was my lead.
I actually started to write one sentence about the possibility, with the other 1,500 words about the idea they were going to win. And then it was like, 44-yard pass.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just at that moment, don't you start thinking...
Oh, I stopped writing at that moment. And asked Blair, because Blair was sitting next to me. It was, it's time to watch the game.
Whereas that moment, the second interception, I think you're like, this isn't going to happen.
12 minutes about 12 minutes to go is when the second interception happened. Something we haven't seen only one other time in his career that he'd thrown as many as 2 in a game. And in that game, he also added 6 touchdown passes.
The thing that stuck out to me is there were so many of those moments that we would be writing about that fits into this Chiefs timeline of the past 50 years. We'd say everything was setting up perfectly for them until Patrick Mahomes dislocated his knee, and then you'd be pointing at that and say that was the Chiefs moment that we're used to, or it'd be one of these comebacks. They had a punt blocked, and they had so many things go wrong against the Texans, but one guy leads them back to it. And then Mahomes has, I think, through 3 quarters, arguably the worst game of his career. We were going to say, and he still leads them back.
On March 12th, we taped 3 different podcasts. That's how quickly the sports world was changing. We were preparing to cover the quarterfinal round of the Big 12 tournament at, Sprint Center then, now T-Mobile Center. But the night before, the NBA shut down because of the test result of Rudy Gobert. The Big 12 tournament was called off that day and the NCAA tournament the next. And, here's what Sam Mellinger and Vahe Gregorian and I were thinking in the middle of this rapidly changing series of events. So while you were in the dentist chair, Vahe, Sam and Kellis Robinette and I were in this very room about, 4 hours ago with a Facebook Live that was going to become a podcast, and the topic was, how weird is it going to be to go to Sprint Center for the Big 12 tournament and have only the teams on the floor with just some family members in the stands? What was that going to look like, sound like, feel like? And we'll never know.
Those were simpler times. Those were innocent times back then.
Well, it's funny because what happened with that is such a nice little slice of this whole situation. I mean, these sort of things that we were thinking about yesterday are completely quaint, if not just tin-eared at this point. Yeah. I mean, I wrote yesterday thinking, okay, I got an idea. I'll write about how interesting that's going to be to see this, just because kind of in a hurry, I hit the deadline, and fascinating, I think, is the word I use. And then I woke up today feeling like, I feel kind of gross that I phrased it that way. It really is a bigger scope than that. And as careful as we want to be to say it's a granular thing, the basketball part, it's really hard, I think, and I don't know if you guys have struggled with this, but hard to know how to phrase and frame things within the proper context of what's really happening, kind of earth-shaking, and our little slice here that we're looking at in the sports lens. It's just hard.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. But as we always... one of the thoughts that keeps us going as sports writers is, we're the front. With college sports, I always tell you it's the front porch of the university, and sports is however you want to describe it, as a reflection of our society, whatnot. I think that the story on Wednesday, as much as we were gasping over the idea of Tom Hanks contracting coronavirus, and some non-sports coronavirus stories, what resonated to a lot of people, and certainly to us, is when the the Big 12 and other major conferences announced they would hold their events without fans. And the NCAA did the same thing. And then the NBA on Wednesday evening suspended its season. And all of a sudden, that ended up getting pushed into the lead paragraph of news stories that went around the world, how the coronavirus was affecting U.S. sports. And as it turns out, we had a front row seat to it here in Kansas City because of the Big 12 tournament, what it means to this community. It's 44 years old, the Big 8/Big 12 tournament. All but 5 of them played in Kansas City. It has an economic impact of about $14 million in this town. The Big 12 makes about $7 million in ticket revenue. And in a matter of 48 hours, that's all gone. All gone, We didn't write about it or talk about it for weeks or months or address the possibility of it. It just happened. It just happened. And that, to me, kind of blows my mind.
I've been thinking about... maybe this is like searching too hard for a silver lining, right? But sports, I've said this like way too many times, but sports are the least important thing in the world, like right up until the moment where they're the most important thing in the world. And it is really easy, it's human nature, I think, to be skeptical of the impact of something that you can't see and to resist major change of something that hasn't directly affected your life. For a lot of people, and I am fortunate and grateful that I'm among them, this is the first time that it's like directly affected your life, that it's gone from a news item to something in real life. And I don't know. I don't know what segment of the population, I think it started to shift in the last couple of days, but what segment of the population woke up this morning still thinking this wasn't a big deal. But if sports can convince a significant number of those people that, holy crap, like this is a big thing, and this is not just something that I'm seeing on whatever cable news channel. This is a thing that health experts are advocating, and leagues that I follow and love are suspending games. Maybe I should take this a little bit more seriously. If that's one effect, that's one positive that sports can have right now.
I think that's really true. I've been thinking about that too. Obviously we have KU and K-State that, right here, and Mizzou, and, the school formerly known as UMKC, all that. But I think the fact that the Big 12 tournament was here this week and now it's just evaporated kind of in these gradual phases, like, boom, I think it probably is a service to Kansas City to have an actual perspective on this is real and it's right here. It's a clear and present danger, and no matter where you stood 48 hours ago, there is no way it doesn't have your attention now. Yeah. And that seems to be, not to get in any way beyond our Twitter science degrees, but seems to be pretty crucial, right, to the stemming of the pandemic, is the actual realization and actualization of proper responses. That can stem these horrifying trajectories you see on some of these projections.
COVID-19 wasn't the only major story of 2020. The killing of George Floyd in May after a white police officer had his knee on Floyd's neck for more than 8 minutes triggered outcry, protests, and a social injustice awakening. In June, the Star put together a panel to discuss race in sports. Chief Safety Tyrann Mathieu, Negro League Museum President Bob Kendrick, Kansas basketball coach Bill Self, Royals General Manager Dayton Moore, Kansas State basketball player Christiana Carr, and Missouri basketball coach Konzo Martin participated, and the 45-minute discussion was riveting. I'd encourage you to go revisit the podcast from June 26th. Here's a cut from that conversation. You'll hear Christiana Carr and Konzo Martin speak.
Honestly, being from Minneapolis area, when I saw the video first hit the news and everyone was kind of protesting and going through all of the violent acts and the looting and the rioting, I wanted to do something, but I knew that it was too dangerous for me to go back home at the time. So when I saw on Facebook that there was a protest in Topeka, I immediately made the decision I was going to go. I made some posters with my friends and we ended up going, and it was a great protest, and it was great to be a part of something that was peaceful after all you see on the news is violence and just negative comments about everything that's been going on. And then over the past couple weeks, I went back home to Minnesota and protested with the 10K Foundation. and then helped with donations in North Minneapolis as well. And so it was good to be able to be back home and help out with my friends and family and kind of get things back on the swing of things and moving the needle forward.
You were actually familiar with the store where George Floyd, the area in front of the store where George Floyd was killed. You know that part of town.
Yes, I do. My friend lives right around the corner from it. We would go there and get food. I mean, there's only one Cup Foods in the area, so it's kind of easy to spot out. Once I saw it on video, I immediately knew where that was, being a Minneapolis native. So, let
me ask you this too, Christiana. I saw or read a story where you received tons of positive feedback for what you did, but not all of it was positive. There were some death threats even. And tell us about that.
Yeah, I tweeted out about, if you don't support me with supporting Black Lives Matter, then I feel like you shouldn't support me with my sport as well. And I mean, when my mom first told me about it, I was kind of iffy about tweeting it, just about the backlash and everything. And at first I got a lot of positive comments about people supporting me, and talk show hosts quoted my tweet and kind of made a joke about the WNBA and how nobody watches it. And immediately after that, I had tweets about people saying that I should burn in the city of Minneapolis. They don't support me in either. They don't know what women's basketball is. And so, I mean, as much hate comments as I've gotten, I've definitely gotten a lot of support with that as well. So, I mean, it shows just how much people that I don't even know that still support me. And that means a lot as well. So.
Very good. Hey, Kanzo, I'm gonna go as you appear on my screen. So, Kanzo, I'm just wondering what the last month has meant to you, and I know that having spoken to you about it, there have been some a march on your campus that you participated in, and just generally tell us what it's meant to you over the last month.
Well, obviously, it was a tough one to see the George Floyd video, and to be totally honest, it was the first video I watched in its entirety, because I've seen those for years, and my stomach just can't take that. I'm not sure, ever since I've had kids, I can't watch those videos, but I watched it through, and it was really tough to watch. And, for me, I have to be totally honest here. When I was at Cal Berkeley, I saw Colin Kaepernick up close when he took the knee, because the camp was probably 45 minutes from the San Francisco 49ers facilities. And you want to do something, you want to step out, you want to say something, but, truthfully, self-preservation takes over, because you have to provide for your family, you work for a university, so you want to be careful in how you speak. And that was tough for me. So whatever came around again, I was just telling myself, and I was constantly praying to God, I have to get out in front of this some way, shape, or form, because I grew up in East St. Louis, Illinois, so I've seen a lot of it up close and witnessed it from afar. So when this time around, I think the thing that helped me with the COVID virus, which is an unfortunate pandemic, it has caused a lot of deaths and anxiety and stress, loss of jobs. But I think what it allowed all of us to do, time stop, so we can all see it. So there's not a sporting event the next day to go to. And I think that really helped me to get out in front of this thing, because, everybody was asking, how should you respond? Should you tweet this, social media? And it took me about a week. I didn't know what to say, because you want to be respectful to all, but you understand the situation and the task at hand. So I just said, from this point on, this is who I am, and it has to be a part of my life, and I have to get out in front of this. And this is, I said to my sons respectfully, I just said this about a week or so to my two sons, one's 22, one's 18. And I just said, guys, I don't know if I'll be on this earth to see total equality, but I pray that my grandkids, if God willing, that they can have a peaceful life. But I said, I didn't say like there was threats. I'm not worried about threats, but I just felt like I'm not sure I'll be able to see that, because when you're talking percentage and you study history, in the Black communities and in the communities of color, there's probably a 70-year wealth gap, and there's a lot of catching up to do. So I just told my sons, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure my grandkids can live a peaceful life.
Hey, it's Blair. We have a special subscription offer for SportsBeat KC listeners, unlimited digital access to the Kansas City Star's award-winning sports coverage. Sign up now for 1 year of Sports Pass for access to all the sports news, features, and columns presented on the kansascity.com site, and it's only $30. That's a 40% savings off our regular rate. Your subscription will automatically renew after the initial term at $50 unless you tell us to cancel. Your subscription helps support the sports coverage of KansasCity.com and the Kansas City Star, and that support has never been more important. Please visit KansasCity.com/SportsBeat KC offer to get this special offer. And as always, thanks for listening. Even with no NCAA basketball tournament, an abbreviated Royal schedule, reduced schedules for college football and college basketball, it remained a busy year in sports in 2020. The Chiefs made plenty of news with off-season signings, making Patrick Mahomes a $500 million man, bringing back Chris Jones, among others, the first-round draft pick of running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Hey, look, and as we record this, the Chiefs are 13-1, the best record in the NFL. The Royals started a new chapter in their history under owner John Sherman and manager Mike Matheny. KU won another Big 12 basketball championship, this time with a 17-1 league mark, the best in conference history. In Eli Drinkwitz's first year, Missouri pulled off heart-stopping victories over LSU and Arkansas and finished the regular season 5-5. Kansas State's football season got off to a rousing start with a triumph over Oklahoma. Then Skylar Thompson was lost for the season with an injury, and the Wildcats never really recovered. Sporting Kansas City returned to the top of the Western Conference before an early exit in the playoffs. Also, the team decided not to re-sign defender Matt Beasler, ending an era of soccer history in this town. We pick up our best of 2020 with a couple of my favorite moments on the podcast. They both involved our columnists, Sam Mellinger and Vahe Gregorian, and each brings back a former Star reporter. First, Therese Paylor, who covered the Chiefs for 5 seasons before heading off to Yahoo Sports as a senior NFL writer. And then the next one with former Royals beat writer Andy McCullough. He moved from the Star to the Los Angeles Times and now writes for The Athletic. It's always fun catching up with old friends, especially when the stories involve press box decorum. Let's start with Therese. All right, guys, I've kept you too long, and but just a warning: we'll reconvene at some point to relive the Therese Paylor Sam Mellinger moment in the Broncos press box.
A moment that will never die. After the social distancing guidelines are dropped, if we're going to do that right.
That's right. Since you're on the floor next to each other in the press box.
You know what's funny though? Like, I'm glad it's kind of taken on mythical proportions because, like, in a way, that's the moment when honestly, that's the moment when, like, I think we both knew, like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. Like, that's when you knew something was special. Like, that day against that team, that was still a very spunky Bronco defense too. He shouldn't have been doing what he was doing. It was completely outrageous to see a player wearing Chiefs colors doing that to them.
That's so well said. Yeah, he was wearing that uniform. Like, that's the uniform of the game manager. Has been for decades.
Well, believe me, if a Lions quarterback ever did it, it'd be the same. It'd be the exact same. I might not even survive it. Yeah.
Well, that was also the first kind of visual proof of what we'd been hearing all season long about what this guy was doing in practice, right? From Eric Berry, from Marcus Peters, from everybody who was seeing Patrick Mahomes in practice, that throw at Denver and some of the other throws that he made that day were like, this is what they're talking about.
Yeah, and just real quick, that throw to Demarcus Robinson on the sideline is just, that's a forever throw.
It's an outrageous throw.
Was his first completion that laser to?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
like on third and long, right?
That was crazy. Like, just a warm up throw. Like, I haven't seen a quarterback do that.
It was a missile. I'm pretty sure it was that throw that prompted me to add the John Madden after like half of the throws he made in that game. Just the moment he released it. Yeah, like he was dealing. Like, Mahomes was dealing that day. It was. Oh, you know what else I remember too? Andy Reid being as glowing as possible without like losing it. Like he is so controlled in those pressers, but he was just like, look, the kid had complete control. Okay, total, complete, absolute control. Okay, and it's just like, whoa. because Andy never said that about anybody.
Yeah. You could almost, in that post game, it was almost like there was two little Andys on his shoulder, and one was just giddy as anybody could ever be. And it's like, holy crap, did you see this? That's our quarterback now. And the other guy was like, slow your roll. Slow your roll. Playoffs. We got a playoff game. Just, calm down. And it was just like he was tied between these two little Andys. Like one was like he would have been in the dog pile with us in the press box, and the other just like this old school football, never be impressed kind of guy. It was great. It was an
unbelievable moment.
Andy, we can't let you go without reliving that moment in the press box. little behind the scenes, Game 5, becoming apparent that the Royals are going to win the game. I think I've got the timing of this right.
No, it was in the 10th inning when the game went to the 10th inning. Yep.
Okay, so we don't know. So it's still right. No, so it's still 2-2.
It's way more problematic.
Take us through that.
I would
take a little trip down memory lane.
I would prefer to hear Sam and Vahe's version of this. Vahe's because it'll be the truth, and Sam's because it'll make me look the worst.
All right, well, let me start. I just remember him just dog cussing his computer. Just MF bomb followed by F bomb followed by MF bomb. And I remember him saying, like, not just MF in the computer, but MF in himself, all this stuff. And I just really, really losing it. And I remember,
wait a second, let me interrupt. Why would that be?
Oh, we didn't get to that. Yeah. Well, his computer fried.
I looked up, and every word in my game story, and I'd written, my game stories were like Tolstoy in their length. My every game story of mine was longer than a speech in an Ayn Rand novel. But I looked up, and every word in my gamer had become an asterisk. Every single word had become an asterisk, and I couldn't. And I just started to have it was like the 10th inning, and I just started to have a meltdown. Yeah,
I remember I felt a little bit like a counselor or something. I remember I'm not a touchy person, but I put my hand on your shoulder, and I'm just like, come on, buddy. And you're like, it's all, and I was like, wow, okay, well, look, the 6th inning, that's a section. Do that right now. You can do that. Just calm down. The 8th inning, that's a section. And the best part though was in the middle of all this ranting, because I don't know if the Royals somebody just struck out or whatever, but there's this other writer in the press box just shouts over. He goes, "Calm down, it's just a game, pal."
I started to say this, Andrew, but I'm going to validate Sam's version.
Oh no!
And that's how I remember it. I think I might have dared go down into the Lions area, and then it was quickly rebuffed. My suggestion was probably even more inflammatory. We'll just start with the first sentence.
Yeah.
But I do want to say this, and maybe this is a little bit of a parallel to covering that team. Andy had quite a comeback. And that I would point out Andy's eventual final game story to anybody on earth who wants to see what the consummate perfect game story on the most meaningful moment in decades is. It was unbelievably good.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
It reappeared at some point, right? I mean, the typed words did reappear somehow. Who got in?
No, I mean,
you started over?
I give all the. I mean, honestly, it's as much as it pains me to do this, I give all the credit in the world to Sam for talking me through it, because he really did. He was like, "All right, buddy. Well, okay, so Matt Harvey was in this game, but now he's not. Maybe you can write a little bit about how that happened, and you should do a little bit on that. And then, hey, guess what? They tied it. Maybe you can do some play-by-play on what happened during that play." And I also remember at some point Chris Fickett, our intrepid sports editor who was there, kind of came down and was like, "Hey, what's going on here?" And I was like, "We're all like, it's all effed. Like, we can't do it. You know, the story's gone. Tell Fannin that like he's not going to have it for the front. We got to get something else on the front." And just total panic or whatever. And Chris went back and called Mike, the exec editor, and basically told him like, "Yeah, so Andy's in some trouble." And Mike told him in no unharsh terms that I needed to produce that story, or we were all going to be in some trouble. And Chris very smartly did not communicate that message. So I was actually working under the pretense where it's like, it's fine, they got it figured out. Just get it all back together and you'll be fine. You don't need to hit deadline. You'll be all right. And luckily, I was unaware that they were having a meltdown on the other end, waiting for my gamers. So, yeah, man, that was a good one. That was a good one.
I would add this. Like a lot of people may or may not remember that game went 12 innings. It's good that it went 12 and not 10. That was productive time.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, that the 10th and 11th inning. I mean, God bless Luke Hochevar for his scoreless work, because that's how we got there. Is the Royals just like blanked them for a couple innings, and by the time like the 12th rolled around, like I pretty much had it almost all up and running again. So. But yeah, that was not a fun hour. That was not a fun hour for sure.
That'll do it for today. Thanks to our production staff of Derek Donovan, Beth Welsh, Monty Davis, Randy Mason, Jeff Rosen, Chris Fickett, and Savannah Smith. Derek did the heavy lifting putting together today's show. Many thanks, Derek. Hey, we got another deal for you, especially for those who want to deep dive into the Stars' terrific Chiefs coverage. For a limited time, you can subscribe to Sports Pass for 99 cents a month. That's right, 99 pennies a month. After 3 months, it auto-renews at $5.99 a month unless you cancel. How do you get it? You go to kansascity.com/sportspass2020. That's kansascity.com/sportspass2020. Do you want more than just sports coverage? I know I do. Check out the entire Kansas City Star product. Sports news, features, commentary, and analysis, the whole thing. You get all the stories written by my talented colleagues, plus additional news, sports, and business coverage with the e-edition. The details for all of these deals can be found at account.kansascity.com/subscribe. And if you're having trouble hunting down any of these offers, send me an email at bkirkhoff@kcstar.com and I'll get you to the right place. So whether it's the Sports Pass or the full subscription, you're getting and supporting the best sports and news coverage in Kansas City and helping us produce programs like SportsBeat KC. Thanks for listening and have a great holiday season.